Hi there, welcome to Bella's Vistas. Thanks for coming back again. Well, we're getting ready to go into St. John's. First thing we're going to do is stop at this freshwater spring and fill up our jugs. We carry about 6 jugs with us, so we'll have 6 gallons of water to make coffee with every morning and drinking water throughout the day. Lasts us for several days. Now we're blasting down the road. That's St. John's off in the distance. I'm really excited to be making this trip again. It's been over 4 years since we've been here, and I'm looking forward to it. We've got some plans of things that we want to do. We want to photograph Jellybean houses. We want the sunset over Signal Hill. Lots of things we want to do. And wow, the first time I saw this view was in 1972, and I've been coming back as often as I can ever since then. There's the buildings off on the left. The waterfront is on the right here. There's all kinds of container things here from the sea trains. And the waterfront, here we're going along the waterfront. There's yachts here. There's battleships even. And lots of different boats. It's a beautiful city. It's a 500-year-old city. That's why the streets are narrow and winding. Now here you can see some of the big ships on the right-hand side. Those are the battleships right there. I guess they're headed off for war. I really don't know what's going on, but they're there. Lots of Canadian ships. The big red ones are usually Canadian Coast Guard, that type of thing. Now we're making this hard right turn here, and we're headed up here. Do you think you know where we're going? Have you been here? Well, if you've been here, you know where we're headed. We're just going to cruise along here. It's a pretty big hill, winding roads and things like that. It's nice to have an automatic transmission on a day like this. Now we're stopping here. We're going to make a right turn. And you guessed it, we're headed for Signal Hill. Look at this. There's row houses on the right-hand side. Just a beautiful city. Going to follow this camper truck for a little while up here. See the multicolored houses on the right? They're reminding me of the Jellybean houses that we're looking for. Now they made a change to the road here some years ago. Used to be able to just drive straight up, but now you've got to make this little detour here and go through this welcome center. You know, you don't have to go into the welcome center, but there's an auxiliary parking lot here, and there's an information center right in there. There's Cabot Tower right up there. That's where Marconi sent the first transatlantic message. And we're pulling up here. I'm going to get some interesting shots. I shot this with a longer lens this time. I used to always use a wide angle lens on the tower, but I thought, well, I'll use about an 80 millimeter this time. Now we're going to just take a little tour once around the parking lot to find the best possible parking spot and see what we can find. There's the tower again, and well, let's see, we'll take this spot right here and hope for that other car to move. There's Fort Amherst in the distance. You might want to watch one of my earlier videos on the guns of Fort Amherst. It's quite entertaining. A fox. Wow, a fox in the moon right up on Signal Hill. Look at this. Now these foxes are too friendly. Everybody's feeding them, which they're not supposed to do. There's the harbor. And there we've got the sunset. It didn't disappoint me. Now we've seen the sunset. Now we're going to blast through the city, find a place to park up, spend the night, and in the morning we're going to do it all again. City's beautiful at night. I used to be out till 4 in the morning in my younger days here, but I don't do those things anymore. I'm getting up at 4 in the morning now instead of going to bed at 4 in the morning. Lots of night lights here. Wow, it's morning. There's my van. There's my gear. The sun's coming up over the city. It's a gorgeous place to be. I'm so happy when I'm here. Look at that city. Look at the sunrise. Here's all the boats. Now it's a working harbor, so there's going to be work going on. Some boats coming in. I think that might be a supply boat. I don't really know, for the oil fields. Lots of things going on here all the time. There's a container ship. I know what that is. That's a big ocean-going container ship bringing in the sea train packages. And it's amazing. Look at the size of that boat, and they have to pilot that through the harbor. Must be quite a talented captain to be doing something like that, I think. Well, we've seen the sun come up. We've seen the harbor get busy. Now we're going into the city. We've got an agenda. We've got things we want to do. We've got places to go and sights to see, pictures to take. You can see all the fencing along there. This is a high security area, of course, with all the boats and everything. And I'm thinking, what am I looking for? What are we going to photograph first? You know, I'm thinking, Jellybean houses, that's what we're going to be looking for. That's my agenda for today. So here we are. We're just leaving the harbor front now, and we're getting into the city. Streets are narrow and winding. Like I said, it's a 500-year-old city. These streets were laid out. There weren't any cars back then. And certain constraints are there. Lots of big glass buildings here. Got big glass buildings on one side and the old city on the right. It's unbelievable. There are these walkways going over the road. There's a Mary Brown Center on the left. Look at that. I hadn't seen that before. And there's the Heap Noseworthy building on our right here. That used to be the Heap Noseworthy building. I don't know what it is now. More and more of these little buildings here. Cruising along. Big brick buildings. And we're going down this hill here. Going to make a left turn. That's the courthouse on the right. And we're going down the main streets of the city here. It's not that bad. It's a wide enough street. Lots of multicolored buildings on the left. Big brick Canada building on the right. And it starts getting interesting now. Here we go. Starting to climb some hills. We've got stops here, and I'm going to stop here and have a look around. Look at these buildings. These are interesting to me. Livier's Antiques. These are sort of the Jellybean house kind of thing that I'm looking for. There's a Miami-style building. Multicolor buildings. Look at these places. Wow. It's really, really interesting. And we're driving again. Got to cover some mileage, that's for sure. The roads just seem to go on forever. There, wait a minute. There's the rooms up there on the left and the cathedral on the right. There's the two buildings. There's the cathedral. What a piece of history that is. Now here's what we're looking for, Jellybean houses. The window treatments here kind of remind me of Ireland in some ways. Really interesting doorways and windows and flower boxes. Steep streets too, because it's very hilly. Multicolors. And what a view here. Wouldn't you like that for your backyard? Look at that, the harbor. Beautiful. What a view. Blasting down the road again. You get an idea. There's a convention center on the left. I think the big glass buildings, they're all fairly new. There's the Mary Brown Center again. Here we go. The little building should be up on the right, the formerly Heap Noseworthy building. We're going to cruise down this side of it this time and run down this main street. The courthouse on the right. Big glass buildings. Just wanted this to be mostly a drive around. We wanted to drive through the whole city and get an overview of everything. And then we figured we'd interspace our photographs with the video and have kind of a nice overview of St. John's. We spent about 3 days in the city. Could have spent an awful lot more. There's a convention center on the right. Lots of construction, all kind of cranes going on. Now I think what we're going to do is take a little drive out of town, and we're going to go to a place where we can get a nice overlook over the whole city. And I've been doing this little trip for many years. It's on top of the South Side Hills. So we're going to come down here. We're kind of driving out of town. We're right at the outskirts of the downtown. Make this left turn and we cruise up here. I think Shea Heights is up here, if I remember correctly, further on. But we're not going to go there today. We're just going to go. Now you see these murals here that are a bit faded away on the left. There's whales and musicians and things like that. Little overpass here. Now I'm getting a little bit tired of driving, so I'm really looking forward to stopping for a while. And we pull in here. It's a little parking lot here. We can pull right up here. There's a picnic table right there. I'm going to set up my tripod here and do an overview of the city. My plan is to do some tight shots of the buildings and shoot a panoramic video of the whole city. Gives you some idea what's there. There's my tripod. I'm set up. I'm ready to go. Tight shots on the city. Look at those big buildings. Now a panorama. There's a hospital there. There's another hospital, I think, and some churches. And then downtown, the convention centers. Some really beautiful, colorful buildings down there. I mean, they're amazing. Look at that, how it all fits together. We stopped for lunch in Bowring Park. There's a wonderful bronze statue there. Now up ahead there you can see Cabot Tower just for an instant. Wow, we're out at Cape Spear and we're headed back in. We get stopped for some serious construction here. And I mean, this was rough. This was really a rough road to drive on. Should have almost had a pace car in front of you here. This was that bad. Well, anyway, we got through it, but it was pretty darn bumpy and pretty slippery. Now we're back in the city, cruising along. There's the Mary Brown Center up on the left. Yeah, we were here before. We're back again. Now we're cruising here, running past the Heap Noseworthy building, down through these narrow streets. We're looking for sights to see. Oh, ice cream. I just saw Moo Moo ice cream. Now we're going to have to go. Oh, the police are going to try and stop us from getting ice cream. I hope not. No, they didn't. We prevailed and got our ice cream. Little construction. Now we're headed up Signal Hill again. Going to see what we see. I think we're up on Signal Hill about 3 times, pretty much every day. Take a little tour around here. There's a fireboat out in the harbor testing out its equipment. I got a little video of that, and as soon as I put on the longer lens, he stopped right away. Boom. That's the way it goes, but we got the footage anyway. And the foxes, well, the foxes are back. He brought his friend this time. There's the city at night, nice sunset, and the buck moon is full, and the clouds were just blowing past the moon. Like, I had to hold the tripod down on the ground against the wind. Now we're burning down the road again at night. City lights on the GoPro camera. Look at the harbor. Wow, look at these boats. It's just they're gorgeous. And there's my favorite view of the city right there. I love that so much. There's the cathedral in the distance. Now it's morning and I'm shooting some video of the clouds and fog blowing past Cabot Tower. I thought, wow, this is just fantastic. And then I'm treated to a miracle. Look at that jet lit up by the sunrise. The harbor's coming to life after the sunrise. Big container ship coming in here with a load of sea trains on the back of it. Take a little panorama across the city. There's the rooms. There's the cathedral up there. A big blue ship in the harbor. Wow, I love these buildings. I photograph these buildings every chance I get here, and I'm never tired of them. They never disappoint me. All the beautiful colors. There's the cathedral. So nice. Thanks for visiting Bella's Vistas. Please like, subscribe. Come on back again real soon.